All right, here is the answer to the second quiz I gave today. What is the required reserve ratio? Well, 40,000 divided by 200,000 is 0.2, so the reserve ratio is 20%. If Susie Q was to get tipped $100 at her job and she put $100 into her savings account in this bank, how much would the money supply in M1 change? Well, M1 would change, M1 would decrease $100 because savings accounts are not M1. Okay. Number three, if the bank was to go below its required reserves, what could it do to rectify the situation? It could borrow from another bank or it could borrow from the Fed. As a result of the deposit number two, how much of that deposit could be immediately loaned out? Well, all of savings can be loaned out. And so it was a $100 deposit, so $100 of it could be loaned out. If the Fed was to buy $10,000 of this bank's government securities, what would happen to the balance in excess reserves? Well, the balance in excess reserves would go up by $10,000. Okay. If the Fed bought $10,000, by the way, number 5 does not affect required reserves because nothing has happened to the balance in the checking accounts. And so any extra money the bank gets would go into excess reserves. Number 6, if the Fed bought $10,000 of this bank's T-bills, if the bank holds no excess reserves, how much would the money supply expand? Well, let's see. So remember, I'm the Fed, letter FED on my head. I pull the $10,000 out of my vault. That is all new money. And I buy a $10,000 T-bill. That goes directly into the bank's excess reserves, and they want to loan it all out immediately. Okay. So what happens is the money supply could expand 10,000 times the money multiplier, which is 1 over the reserve ratio. And in this case, the reserve ratio is 20%. 1 divided by 0.2 is 5. So 10,000 times 5 is equal to $50,000. And that is how much the money supply could expand. How's that for a short and sweet explanation?